Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today CTGO just filed an 8K and I am seeing one cash distribution that signals potential growth. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This filing highlights a significant cash payout and plans for future exploration, which could be a big deal for this precious metals company. Contango Silver Gold Incorporated just put out a current report, and the main event here is a disclosure about a cash distribution and their upcoming exploration plans. Think of an 8K as a way for companies to announce big news that investors need to know about right away. Now, the really interesting part is in item 7.01, which is about Regulation FD disclosure. This is basically a rule that says companies have to share important information with everyone at the same time, so no one gets an unfair advantage. And what Contango is sharing is that on the 22nd of April 2026, they announced a big cash distribution from something called the Peak Gold JV. The joint venture, or JV, is like a partnership between different companies to work on a specific project. So the Peak Gold JV handed over a cool $9 million to Contango on the 25th of March of 2026. That is a substantial amount of cash. They also gave an update on their exploration plans for 2026. For a gold and silver company like Contango, exploration is like they're prospecting for future riches, so these plans are key to their growth. The filing also includes a standard legal disclaimer. Essentially, they are saying that this information is being provided for your awareness under Regulation FD, but it is not considered a formal filing that would make them liable for anything in that specific context. It is common practice to ensure these announcements are handled correctly. Then we get to the cautionary note about forward-looking statements. This is a really important part of almost every filing. Companies have to tell you that some of the things they say might sound like promises about the future, but they are really just educated guesses. They are based on current expectations, but actual results could be very different because of all sorts of risks and uncertainties. They mention that these risks are detailed in their other filings like annual and quarterly reports. It is their way of saying, be optimistic, but be realistic too. Now, the actual press release with all the juicy details is attached as Exhibit 99.1. This is where we get the full story behind the cash distribution and the exploration update. The press release itself, dated the 22nd of April 2026, elaborates on this $9 million payout from the Peak Gold joint venture. This JV seems to be a significant source of funds for Contango. It is not just about receiving cash though, they also laid out their exciting exploration plans for 2026. This shows the company is looking to reinvest and grow their asset base. Looking at the research context, Contango Silver Gold Incorporated, ticker CTGO, is in the basic materials sector, specifically focusing on gold. With a market cap of around $720 million and only 15 employees, it is a relatively lean operation. This $9 million distribution is a pretty good chunk of change for a company of this size, and it shows the JV is performing well. The recent news headlines all echoed this announcement, Contango outlining a $63 million exploration program for 2026, funded in part by this $9 million JV cash injection. This paints a picture of a company that is not just sitting on its assets, but actively looking to expand and discover more. It suggests confidence from management in their future prospects. It is also interesting to note their top institutional holders. Firms like Aliska Investment Group, Franklin Resources, BlackRock, and Vanguard all have significant stakes. This tells us that major investment players are watching Contango, and while institutional ownership does not guarantee success, it often indicates a level of fundamental belief in the company's potential. So, what does this all mean? Contango Silver Gold is receiving a significant cash infusion from its Peak Gold joint venture, and they are planning to use a substantial amount of capital, over $60 million, for exploration in 2026. This is a clear sign of their commitment to growth through discovery. For companies in the mining sector, exploration is the engine of future revenue and value. A successful exploration program can significantly boost a company's reserves and, consequently, its stock price. The $9 million distribution to Contango is particularly noteworthy. It suggests that the Peak Gold JV is generating profits or realizing value that can be shared with its partners. This financial strength from the JV provides Contango with the capital needed to fund its ambitious exploration efforts, without necessarily needing to raise additional funds through equity or debt, which could dilute existing shareholders. Now, looking at the broader picture, Contango seems to be following a strategy of expanding its exploration footprint. The $63 million exploration budget is significant, especially for a company with 15 employees. This implies a focused strategy on identifying and developing new gold and silver deposits. The success of this exploration will be the key determinant of Contango's future performance. The risks here, as highlighted in their cautionary statements, are inherent to the mining industry. Exploration is not guaranteed to yield results. There are geological uncertainties, environmental challenges, and fluctuating commodity prices that can impact profitability. However, the substantial cash distribution and the ambitious exploration plans suggest that management has a high degree of confidence in their current projects and future outlook. What I'm actually looking for is the success rate of their exploration efforts going forward. If these $67 million lead to new discoveries and expanded resources, Contango could be a very interesting play. On the other hand, if the exploration yields little, the company might face challenges in maintaining its valuation. The $9 million cushion is a good start, but larger exploration programs require sustained success. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives like this one.